chosen one. Listen, everything around you has been rearranged for this exact moment. The delay, the silence, the endless waiting, it was never wasted. Heaven has pressed pause on the noise of the world to whisper into your spirit, the time you prayed for has finally arrived. You are standing in the divine intersection between what was promised and what is being delivered. The atmosphere around you has shifted. You feel it in your chest, in the trembling of your hands, in the sudden stillness of your thoughts. It is not anxiety, it is recognition. The spiritual realm has opened its gates. You were not forgotten. Every unanswered prayer, every door that stayed closed, every night you asked, when? God, it was all preparation for this. You were not being punished, you were being positioned. Heaven had to wait until your heart was strong enough to carry what your mouth had asked for. The pruning was painful, but necessary. Look back for a moment. Every disappointment taught you discernment. Every betrayal sharpened your faith. Every storm was a lesson in endurance. And now, the winds have changed direction. What used to push against you now begins to carry you forward. You are no longer in the waiting room, you are at the threshold of manifestation. Heaven's timing is perfect. And this is that moment. As it is declared in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. You have been running on empty, yet here you are still standing. That is not coincidence, that is divine preservation. The same God who sustained you in the wilderness now calls you into the promised land. The heavens are declaring your release. Everything that once opposed you has lost its grip. The curse of delay is broken. The time of acceleration has begun. You have waited long enough. The silence that once scared you is now breaking into melody. The doors you knocked on are unlocking with a sound that only the faithful can hear. You are about to walk into rooms you never knew existed, because God kept them hidden until the appointed hour. And that hour is now. Feel this truth. You are not entering by luck, you are entering by appointment. Every obstacle was a guardian of timing, holding you back until you were fully ready. The trials didn't destroy you, they identified you. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out as evidence of divine faithfulness. Now heaven says, step forward. You don't need to force what is already being opened. Walk through the threshold with faith. The season of wondering if it will ever happen is over. The manifestation begins now. You will see movement where there was stillness. The wait was not for nothing, it was the building of your testimony. And hear this clearly, when God moves, He does not move halfway. The same hand that carried you through the desert now crowns you in the dawn. Every word spoken over your life has been gathering momentum in the unseen. And now the unseen becomes visible. Rise now. Lift your head. Wipe the last tear of delay from your eyes. Heaven has remembered your name. The angels assigned to your promise are already in motion. The same God who called light out of darkness is now calling your destiny into manifestation. If this word resonates deep in your spirit, don't scroll past it. Take a holy moment and acknowledge what heaven is declaring over you. Like, share, and subscribe so that this divine message reaches more of God's chosen ones who have been waiting for their own confirmation. And, as a prophetic act, comment the number 777 below to declare that you are stepping into divine completion, perfect timing, and unstoppable manifestation. The heavens rejoice as your faith finally meets fulfillment. Every unseen prayer, every whispered "Lord, remember me," has reached its appointed hour. What once seemed delayed is now being delivered before your eyes. The soil of your endurance is breaking open with divine reward. This is your harvest season, and nothing can stop it now. You are entering days of supernatural confirmation. People will look at your life and see what patience under pressure can produce. You will walk through doors that no human could have opened. The time of being overlooked is finished. Heaven is now calling your name in rooms where your destiny will unfold. This moment is not random, it's divine alignment. You have been prepared for this exact place and time. What once felt like loss was training for leadership. The pressure was proof that you carried promise. You are no longer waiting for the move of God. You are the move of God manifesting on the earth. So, stand firm in gratitude. Let worship rise from your heart as evidence that you trust the process. The long night is over, and morning has come. You are stepping into answers, overflow, and divine appointments. The wait was worth it, and heaven celebrates your arrival in the season you were born for. You have walked through seasons where silence was your only companion. There were nights when heaven felt distant, when your prayers seemed to echo back to you unanswered. But what you didn't see was that, in the silence, God was shaping something inside you that noise could never build: depth, endurance, unshakable faith. The world saw stillness, heaven saw preparation. The divine hand was quietly working, molding your heart into something capable of carrying greater weight. Every hidden battle served a purpose. The tears you cried in secret watered the soil of your destiny. Every sleepless night, every unanswered question, every why that went unspoken, all of it became the material from which God forged strength. What you called delay was really divine development. There were things you needed to learn before you could lead, and lessons you could only receive in silence. You may not have realized it then, but heaven was watching closely. Each time you chose faith over frustration, heaven took note. Each time you refused to quit, the kingdom rejoiced. There was never a moment when you were unseen, even when it felt like you were forgotten. God was setting you apart. He was crafting a vessel that could carry His glory without breaking under the weight. There were doors you thought you should have entered long ago, opportunities that seemed right but never opened. You didn't fail those moments, they simply weren't ready for you yet. Sometimes God hides what He's building because premature exposure can destroy divine intention. He had to shield you until your capacity matched your calling. You were being trained in private for a stage that will demand spiritual maturity. Think of it, the wilderness that once felt like punishment was actually the workshop of purpose. Every test was a tutor. Every hardship was instruction. You learned to hear His whisper in the quiet, to move when He says move, and to wait when He says wait. The very seasons that made you question His presence became the foundation of your intimacy with Him. What you gained in those hidden years is something the spotlight could never give: authentic faith that stands firm when everything shakes. You were not overlooked, you were preserved. Like a seed buried beneath the earth. You looked forgotten, but heaven knew you were germinating. The darkness was never your end, it was your beginning. The roots of your destiny grew deep before they could grow upward. God hid you because He loved you. Because exposure before maturity can kill what was meant to bless many. In those quiet years, you learned endurance, humility, and trust. You learned that faith is not proven by comfort, but by commitment. Even when you couldn't feel God, you refused to walk away. You stayed. You prayed. You pressed forward. That steadfastness has become your armor for the battles ahead. And now, as your season shifts, you will see how those hidden moments were never wasted. They were holy. We read from the first book of Peter, chapter 5, verse 10. And the God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. This verse isn't a promise for tomorrow, it's the echo of what heaven has already begun. You have suffered, yes, but now the restoration begins. What was broken will be rebuilt. What was delayed will be delivered. The God who allowed the testing has already prepared the strengthening. He never leaves a wound without a plan for healing. Every closed door taught you to lean on God instead of opportunity. Every loss revealed what cannot be shaken. You discovered that your value was never tied to visible progress, but to unseen faithfulness. That is why the enemy could not destroy you, because your roots went deeper than your pain. The waiting season was not a detour, it was destiny in disguise. While others moved ahead, you were being anchored. Now that the time of revealing approaches, you will emerge with a depth of wisdom and stability that can only come from waiting on the Lord. When the world sees your rise, they will call it sudden, but you will know it was forged through years of surrender. Do not despise the hidden years. They are holy ground. Every step of obedience in obscurity became the staircase leading to visibility. You were learning the rhythm of heaven, slow, deliberate, eternal. And because of that rhythm, you will not fall when the spotlight shines. The silent preparation was never about keeping you small. It was about building something that could last. You are now the product of patience, the embodiment of perseverance, the living testimony that delay is not denial. The silence was never empty. It was full of divine purpose, waiting to unfold. And now, that purpose unfolds through you. Every step you take releases echoes of heaven's rhythm. You are proof that divine timing is never late, only perfectly aligned with destiny. You can feel it now, the atmosphere around you is trembling. The shaking you sense is not a sign of destruction, but of transition. Heaven is rearranging the pieces of your life so that what no longer serves your destiny will fall away. Do not fear the shaking. Fear standing still when God is moving. Every shift you feel is the sound of chains breaking. You are not losing control, you are gaining alignment. When God begins to move, everything hidden gets revealed. Things and people that once seemed stable begin to show their true foundation. But this exposure is mercy, not judgment. God shakes what can be shaken so that what is eternal will remain. You prayed for clarity, and clarity always comes through disruption. What feels like chaos is actually the hand of heaven making room for what you prayed for. There are moments when the spiritual earthquake comes, and you want to hold on to the old because it feels safe. But God is saying, let it fall. Every structure built on fear must collapse so that faith can stand tall. He will not build your new season on the ruins of old compromise. Release what no longer carries his breath. The friendships, habits, and patterns that served you in the wilderness cannot sustain you in the promised land. You may be wondering why everything seems uncertain. It's because God is removing your reliance on things that can be shaken. You once drew strength from what surrounded you. Now he is teaching you to draw it from within. The shaking is not to destroy you, but to stabilize you. The ground must move before the roots can deepen. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 62, verse 6, He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will not be shaken. That is the declaration of the chosen, those who know that even when the world trembles, their foundation stands firm. You are not built on public approval, not built on temporary success, not built on shallow faith. You are built on the rock of divine purpose. That is why the storms come but cannot swallow you. You might feel pressure from every side, but the same pressure that threatens to crush you is shaping your crown. You are being refined by resistance. The friction you feel is proof that something heavenly is forming. If the ground beneath you is shaking, it means heaven is near. The tremors of transition always precede the release of glory. Let your spirit stay anchored in truth. Let your words remain steady, even when your surroundings are unstable. Speak faith when fear whispers. Declare light when darkness presses close. Your declaration in the shaking determines your position in the shift. What you speak in trembling moments creates your landing place when the dust settles. The enemy wants you to see the shaking as loss, but in reality, it is the sound of chains being broken and doors being unlocked. What was stuck is moving. What was blocked is clearing. You will look back and see that everything falling apart was actually falling into place. The very instability you fear is producing your foundation for the next level. This is why you must not cling to comfort. God is not calling you to comfort. He is calling you to construction. He is rebuilding your life from the ground up with divine order and purpose. The shaking removes every false pillar so that only truth remains. It may hurt, but it is holy. When the shaking stops, what remains will be unshakable, you. The version of you that emerges from this will no longer be moved by temporary storms or fleeting emotions. You will carry peace in the middle of turbulence. You will carry authority in the midst of uncertainty. You will no longer react. You will respond with wisdom and spiritual strength. So when the tremors come, don't panic, praise. When old things fall away, lift your hands and thank God for the cleansing. He is making space for the fulfillment of what He promised. Every collapse is preparation for construction. Every loss is setting the stage for lasting glory. And when you feel the ground trembling beneath your feet again, whisper this truth to yourself: I will not be shaken. Because now you know what is shaking around you cannot destroy what God has established within you. Now, as a sign of faith, comment, I stand firm. Declare it publicly and prophetically. Because when you speak those words, you are claiming your position in the midst of transition. You are telling both heaven and hell that though the ground moves, your purpose does not. When you type, I stand firm, you are declaring that faith is your anchor. You refuse to be moved by fear, delay, or uncertainty again. Those three words tell heaven you trust the process and tell darkness its grip is broken. You stand not shaken, not silent, but rooted in divine purpose. There comes a moment in every divine journey when you realize that what once held you no longer has the strength to contain you. The cage is open, the walls are gone, and what felt like confinement was actually preparation for freedom. The breaking you endured was never meant to destroy you, it was designed to release you. Every limitation, every invisible ceiling, Every unseen chain that tried to hold your promise hostage is being shattered right now. You have carried the weight of waiting for so long that freedom feels unfamiliar. But this is the hour when the Spirit of God steps into your situation and declares, "Enough." The delay that lingered, the resistance that persisted, the opposition that seemed immovable, all of it must now bow to divine timing. You have reached the point where breakthrough becomes inevitable. What was locked is opening, and what was denied is being rewritten. The breaking of delay is not always loud. Sometimes it happens in the quiet, a sudden peace, a change of atmosphere, a subtle but powerful shift within you. You feel it before you see it. Heaven has moved something in your favor. And even if your surroundings don't yet show it, your spirit already knows. This is what freedom feels like, light returning to the soul after years of shadow. There were moments you nearly settled, convincing yourself that the promise must have expired. But promises spoken by God do not have expiration dates. They may linger, but they never die. The time you thought you lost is being redeemed. Every tear you cried over missed opportunities is being gathered by the hand of grace and transformed into a testimony of divine acceleration. You are not behind, you are right on schedule in heaven's calendar. According to what is revealed in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 11, "May the Lord, the God of your ancestors, increase you 1,000 times and bless you as he has promised." This is the multiplication that follows the breaking. You waited, you endured, you stayed faithful, and now heaven multiplies what remains. The doors that were once sealed are responding to your endurance. The blessings that seemed delayed are rushing to overtake you. God does not just restore what was lost, he increases it beyond recognition. Understand, this delay was never your enemy, it was your guardian. It protected you from premature exposure, from battles you weren't ready to fight, from blessings that would have crushed rather than crowned you. Now that your character has matured and your discernment sharpened, God removes the restraints. You are stepping into a freedom that fits your growth. There is a rhythm to divine timing, and you have finally aligned with it. No more striving, no more frustration, no more trying to force doors open that God has already promised to unlock. The season of pushing is giving way to the season of flowing. What you chased before will now find you. What you prayed for in tears will now appear effortlessly, because heaven's timing has caught up with your obedience. You may feel a strange mixture of relief and trembling. That is normal. Every great transition carries both the peace of release and the awe of new responsibility. The weight you feel now is not oppression, it's glory settling on you. You are not breaking down, you are breaking out. When God breaks delay, he also breaks patterns. That is why certain familiar paths no longer work, and old connections no longer feel right. You have outgrown environments that were never meant to hold the next version of you. Do not mourn the endings, they are simply evidence that your story is advancing. Some chapters must close so that new ones can open. You are not meant to live chasing after what left. You are meant to welcome what's arriving. The future has been calling your name, and heaven has finally said, "Now, you are stepping into divine flow, where effort turns into ease and faith turns into fruit. The waiting has done its work. Now comes the movement. As you walk forward, do not look back with regret. Every delay has delivered wisdom. Every setback has secured strength. The same God who sustained you through stillness will now guide you through momentum. The days of frustration are over. The breakthrough that once seemed distant is now your new normal. Take a deep breath. This is what release feels like. Heaven's timing has collided with your readiness. What you waited for has been set in motion, and nothing can stop it now. The chains that once defined your limits are gone. You are walking into wide spaces now, carrying peace where there was pressure and divine flow where there was fear. This is the season where your stillness turns into strength. What delayed you refined you. What restricted you prepared you. You are free, equipped, and finally in motion. You have felt the whisper growing louder, haven't you? The quiet sense that something sacred is unfolding, not next month, not next year, but now. You are standing inside the promise you once begged heaven to remember. The season of waiting has shifted into the season of witnessing. The words you carried in faith are beginning to take form in the natural, and the proof of your endurance is about to be seen by all who doubted. But before the fullness of glory comes, there must be recognition of grace. Everything that survived your storm deserves acknowledgement. Look at your life, the scars that became symbols of strength, the prayers that built invisible altars in your midnight hours. None of it was in vain. The silence, the struggle, the stillness, they all conspired to prepare you for this divine unveiling. There is a rhythm in your spirit that now matches the rhythm of heaven. You no longer chase confirmation, you carry it. The same heart that once cried for answers now beats with divine assurance. You have crossed from hoping to knowing, from waiting to walking, from promise to performance. And as you step into this new chapter, the voice of heaven rises again, not in warning this time, but in celebration. The heavens are rejoicing over your resilience. The angels who once guarded your process now escort your breakthrough. What you thought was a delay was really divine choreography, and the music of fulfillment has begun. It was proclaimed in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." That verse is not a suggestion, it's a declaration. Heaven commands your rise. You are not permitted to shrink back anymore. The light you carry is not for hiding, but for healing. Every step you take from here carries a ripple of restoration into the world around you. Your story will speak for generations to come. The same grace that found you in hidden places will now flow through your voice, your presence, your influence. And as it does, others will awaken. They will feel something stir within them, the same divine remembrance that has been awakened in you. So as you walk forward, let your life become a living invitation. When you lift your hands, let it feel like an open door for others to enter in. When you share your words, let them sound like echoes of heaven calling others home. And when you stand in your victory, let your posture be worship, not pride. The light was never meant to end with you. It was meant to spread through you. Those who see your glow will not see arrogance, they will see evidence. Evidence that waiting works, that faith never fails, that divine timing is worth trusting. You will become a reflection of hope itself, a walking testimony of God's perfect orchestration. And here is where the choice quietly arrives. The same way you once stumbled across this message, there are others still searching for a sign, still standing on the edge of surrender. Somewhere out there, someone is crying the same prayer you once whispered. Let your yes become their miracle. So if this light stirs something in you, if these words resonate deep in your chest, like the memory of an answered prayer, then let your response become part of the song. When you choose to gently tap the symbols of connection, to like, to share, to subscribe, think of it not as an action online, but as lighting another candle in the vast cathedral of souls. Each spark spreads warmth farther than you can imagine. Think of it as lighting another candle. The flame you pass on never diminishes your own, it multiplies it. The warmth grows, the glow spreads, and before long, the darkness that once dominated is filled with flickers of hope. This is not about obligation, it's about overflow. You don't owe heaven anything, you belong to heaven. Every act of sharing becomes worship. Every gesture of connection becomes communion. Every time you choose to open your heart, you mirror the generosity of God Himself. So, if this message has breathed something alive in you, let your spirit respond naturally. Let it be your quiet way of saying, I see the light, and I will not hide it. Let it move you to whisper, to share, to connect not for attention, but for alignment. For when you give from a heart that has seen redemption, you participate in heaven's work on earth. You remind the world that faith still transforms, that love still heals, that light still wins. And as you do, heaven smiles, because the story is no longer just about what God did for you, it becomes what He is doing through you. Every click becomes a quiet prayer. Every share, a spark that travels beyond sight. What you touch with love becomes light multiplied, endless and eternal. You have crossed through the fire and come out refined, not ruined. There is a new stillness in your spirit, a quiet knowing that what once broke you has now built you. The storm did not steal your purpose, it revealed it. You stand different now, grounded, sharpened, and aware. Heaven has entrusted you with more than survival. It has entrusted you with revelation. Every season of loss shaped your discernment. You no longer chase what looks good. You pursue what carries God's breath. Every disappointment turned your eyes from temporary satisfaction toward eternal vision. The weight you carried was not a punishment, it was preparation for authority. There is power in you now that can only be birthed through pain overcome. When you look back, you'll realize that everything you thought you lost was never yours to keep. You were shedding layers, illusions, and limitations that could not walk with you into the new. The detours, the delays, the heartbreaks, they were the chisels that carved your purpose into focus. You are not just surviving, you are stepping into divine maturity. The Spirit of God now clothes you with the mantle that was always meant for your shoulders. It fits perfectly this time because you have grown into it. No longer will you wear the identity of the wounded, now you carry the identity of the warrior. You have learned the secret language of endurance, and heaven honors that strength. It was spoken in the second letter to Timothy. Chapter 4, verse 7. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. These words are not a farewell, they are a coronation. They mark the moment you realize that persistence is victory in motion. The same Spirit that carried Paul through chains and storms now ignites in you. The battles you endured were never random, they were rehearsals for reigning. You have proven faithful in obscurity. And now heaven prepares you for visibility. There is a new oil upon you, the oil of clarity, courage, and calling. You no longer pray from desperation, but from dominion. Your words now carry weight because they were forged in the furnace of endurance. When you speak, darkness listens, because your voice carries the sound of someone who has seen the valley and still chosen to praise. Do not hide your light anymore. The mantle descending on you is not decoration, it's responsibility. It's time to rise and walk in the fullness of what God has prepared. Heaven is releasing divine strategies, creative ideas, and supernatural insight. You are not entering a new season, you are entering a new dimension of understanding. The waiting purified your motives. The warfare refined your obedience. The wounds deepened your compassion. And now, all three combine to form the authority that flows through your life. You are ready to walk in what others only dream about. Some will not recognize you now, and that is all right. You are not meant to fit their memory of who you were. The transformation within you demands separation without resentment. Your elevation requires peace, not explanation. You no longer owe anyone an apology for growing into who God called you to be. And as this new mantle rests on your shoulders, feel its weight. It's not heaviness, but holiness. It's the evidence that heaven trusts you to carry influence, not for your glory, but for God's. You are stepping into a realm where miracles follow obedience and favor flows from faith. You will no longer chase opportunity. Opportunity will find you standing already prepared. So, breathe deeply. The air feels different because the atmosphere has shifted. This is what divine alignment feels like when everything in you finally matches everything heaven has declared over you. You no longer wrestle with whether you're ready. You simply walk. This mantle is not fragile. It will hold through every storm because it was woven through your trials. You carry grace that endures, wisdom that leads, and faith that commands. Every word you speak from this moment carries prophetic fire. You are marked, anointed, chosen, and as a sign of that anointing, comment the number 444 below. It is a prophetic declaration that heaven's order, Father, Son, and Spirit surrounds your journey. When you type that number, you are aligning yourself with divine structure, protection, purpose, and power. Let it be your silent agreement with heaven's plan for your life. For this is your moment of mantle and movement. What once was delayed is now delivered. What once was broken is now beautifully rebuilt. The story is shifting in your favor, and your hands are finally strong enough to hold the promise. When you type 444, you're not just entering numbers, you're declaring divine alignment. You're saying, Heaven, I agree with your order. My steps are guided. My path is protected. That simple act becomes a silent prayer in motion. It marks your surrender to divine timing and your readiness to carry heaven's structure within every choice you make next. There is a war you cannot see, yet you have felt its tremors in every part of your being. The unease that visited you in the quiet hours, the sudden heaviness that came without reason, the moments where peace seemed to slip through your fingers, all of it pointed to a greater battle taking place beyond sight. You were never weak for feeling it. You were sensitive to the spiritual currents around you. The conflict was not about you losing strength. It was about the enemy recognizing that your awakening had begun. In the unseen realm, every chosen one carries a light that draws both heaven's favor and hell's resistance. You are not under attack because you are failing. You are under attack because you are dangerous. Darkness has studied your potential and knows what happens when you walk fully in it. The assignment against you was never personal, it was preventative. The enemy wanted to keep you distracted, doubtful, and disconnected long enough to make you forget who you are. But that plan is crumbling now, because somewhere in the middle of the chaos, you stopped fighting for survival and started fighting from victory. You realized that the authority within you was not borrowed, it was inherited. You began to understand that peace is not the absence of war, it is the weapon of those who know who stands beside them. Heaven does not fear battles, heaven wins them. And you, chosen one, fight not for victory, but from it. In every confrontation, you are learning that discernment is greater than defense. Not every noise demands your response. Not every attack requires your reaction. You are being trained to choose peace over panic, worship over worry, stillness over struggle. This is how warriors of the light fight with wisdom, not fear. We read in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." That verse is not written to scare you, it's written to prepare you. You are not imagining the warfare, but neither should you exaggerate its power. For every shadow that rises, there is already a greater light standing over it. You have weapons that do not rust and strength that does not fade. Prayer is your sword, faith is your shield, and peace is your armor. The more you learn to dwell in stillness, the less access chaos has to you. You have survived storms that others could not withstand because you were never meant to fight like the world fights. You wage war through worship. You break chains through surrender. You overcome by standing still in faith when everything else demands movement. Heaven fights with you, but often heaven fights through you. Every word of truth you speak, every act of kindness, every decision to love instead of hate, each one is a victory that ripples through eternity. Sometimes, the greatest act of warfare is silence. The enemy cannot interpret peace, it confuses his strategies. When you refuse to respond to provocation, when you choose prayer over reaction, you are declaring in the Spirit, "I have already won." You are stepping into mastery over your emotions, and that mastery is where miracles begin. You are learning to see differently now. You no longer see opposition as punishment but as proof of progress. The more intense the warfare, the closer the breakthrough. Pressure reveals proximity to purpose. The enemy would not waste resources on someone irrelevant to the plan of God. You are targeted because you are treasured, so hold your ground. When fear whispers, remind it of the promises that never fail. When confusion rises, speak clarity. When fatigue sets in, let worship refresh you. Every time you choose peace in the middle of battle, you reinforce heaven's authority on earth. Your presence in this fight carries weight. The light within you terrifies darkness, not because it's loud, but because it's steady. You are the calm in the storm, the flame that refuses to be extinguished. You stand as a living declaration that no weapon formed against you will prosper. You have already won more battles than you realize. Every day you chose faith over fear, love over bitterness, hope over despair. That was victory. Heaven counts them all. The record of your endurance is written in eternal ink. Now, breathe. The war continues. Yes, but your role has changed. You no longer fight from anxiety, but from authority. You stand covered, equipped, anointed. The battlefield that once overwhelmed you now obeys the peace within you. The war in the heavens is real, but so is your dominion. And the moment you understood that truth, the outcome was settled. You are not waiting for victory, you are walking in it. The battle belongs to the Lord, and He has already written the final word. You win. There comes a time when separation becomes sacred. Not every departure is rejection, some are divine direction. The path of the chosen is rarely crowded, for destiny demands distinction. You have walked through doors that closed behind you and wondered if you did something wrong. But in truth, heaven was protecting what could not go with you. The pruning was painful because you loved deeply. But love without alignment becomes limitation. What God removes, He replaces with purpose. You have felt the quiet distance growing between you and the familiar. The conversations that once energized you now leave you empty. The people who once understood you now look at you with confusion. You are not difficult to love, you are simply no longer easy to distract. Your soul has grown beyond the space it once occupied. Heaven is pulling you upward, and some things cannot breathe at higher altitudes. The separation of the called is not punishment, it is purification. It is God untangling your heart from attachments that would anchor you to the old season. Every divine elevation begins with holy isolation. Before the light expands, darkness must retreat. This loneliness you feel is not absence, it is sanctification. You are being hidden in the cleft of the rock, while the next layer of glory forms around you. According to what is written in the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 17, "Therefore come out from among them and be separate, says the Lord. Touch no unclean thing, and I will receive you." That command is not about superiority, it is about surrender. It means refusing to dilute your anointing for the comfort of company. It means understanding that holiness is not isolation, it is intimacy. You are being drawn closer to the heart of God. And in that closeness, some relationships cannot follow. You are learning that discernment often feels like discomfort. When heaven whispers "not here" or "not anymore," it rarely comes with explanation. Yet, each closed door hides protection. Every time you felt misunderstood, it was because your spirit was shifting ahead of your surroundings. The language of your heart changed before your environment caught up. That is what it means to be called. You live in tomorrow, while others still wrestle with yesterday. Do not resent those who could not understand your journey. Some were only assigned to your beginning, not your becoming. Love them, bless them, release them. Holding on to the past out of guilt will only weigh down your future. You cannot carry old conversations into new covenants. You cannot wear yesterday's armor for tomorrow's battles. God is separating not to isolate, but to elevate. In the solitude, clarity is born. You will begin to hear again, dream again, breathe again. The noise that once drowned your discernment has quieted, and now revelation flows freely. You will start recognizing divine patterns, the way God weaves endings into beginnings so seamlessly that what once broke you now blesses you. You will begin to see the hidden mercy behind every loss. There is beauty in divine distance. What you perceive as emptiness is actually sacred space being made for the new. The soil of your life is being cleared for a fresh planting. Do not rush to fill it. Some seasons require silence so that the seed can take root without disturbance. In the quiet, heaven works fastest. Loneliness is temporary, clarity is eternal. When you stop reaching back to what left, you start embracing what's coming. You are not walking away, you are walking toward. Every step of separation is a step closer to destiny. Trust the spaces where God calls you to stand alone. Those are the places where oil is produced. There will come a day when you look back and understand why God had to pull you away. You will see that every empty space was an altar being built. Every closed door was a new beginning being written. The friendships you thought you lost were making room for divine partnerships. The silence that frightened you was the sound of heaven rearranging your path. You are being refined into someone rare, someone who carries light without compromise, love without fear, and strength without bitterness. You will become a sanctuary in motion, walking peace wherever you go. Those who left were never meant to destroy you, they were meant to define you. Through them, you learned discernment, compassion, and divine dependence. So do not fear the distance. It is not the end of connection, it is the rebirth of clarity. You are not being set aside, you are being set apart. The loneliness is only the doorway to legacy. Walk through it boldly, because when heaven finishes its separation, you will emerge not empty, but entrusted with vision purified, heart renewed, and purpose undeniable. And when the silence finally lifts, you will understand it was never abandonment. It was God's hand, gently guiding you out of noise and into the clarity of your true calling. There is a fire that does not consume but clarifies. It burns away confusion, pride, and fear until all that remains is truth. You have felt this fire lately, the unease, the inner stirring, the questions that refuse to stay silent. Do not run from it. The flame is not sent to destroy you, but to define you. It is the refining fire of God, purifying your heart for purpose. Every chosen one must pass through this flame. It is in the burning that revelation is born. When everything familiar melts away, what is real begins to appear. You are standing in that very moment, the sacred furnace of transformation. What once made you tremble now makes you strong, because you have learned that holy fire is not punishment, it is promotion. Out of your hardest moments, wisdom is being forged. Out of your deepest sorrow, faith is rising. God is not taking from you, He is taking you deeper. The same flame that consumes the past illuminates the path ahead. The wilderness has ended, the fire now becomes your guide. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9. I will put this third into the fire and refine them as silver is refined, and test them as gold is tested. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. I will say, they are my people. And they will say, the Lord is my God. The time end cries. This fire is personal. It reaches into places no one else can touch. The wounds, the memories, the silent disappointments. You may feel as though life is being stripped away, but in truth, layers of limitation are falling off. You are being made pure, not perfect, surrendered, not shattered. When gold goes into the furnace, it doesn't beg to escape. It waits until the refiner sees his reflection in it. That is what God is doing with you. He is burning away what dimmed your shine until His reflection radiates from your life. Every tear, every test, every trembling moment, it's all part of that divine process. This is why the pain had to come. It was not to harm you, but to harden your faith. The heat that once terrified you now testifies for you. You are no longer fragile. You are fortified. Look closely at your journey, the patterns, The sudden shifts, the interruptions that made no sense then, but now, reveal divine order. Nothing was random. Every closed door led you closer to fire, and every fire led you closer to purpose. The very moments that tried to break you became altars of transformation. You are walking proof that brokenness can birth brilliance. The cracks you carry allow heaven's light to shine through. You do not need to hide your scars. They are proof that the fire was real, and so was God's protection within it. When you speak now, your words carry the weight of someone who has walked through and come out refined. That authority cannot be taught. It must be earned in the fire. And you earned it. You stayed when it burned. You trusted when it hurt. You worshipped when nothing made sense. That is what the heavens call endurance. The same flame that refined you is now rising within you. You are becoming the fire that once tested you. Everywhere you go, your presence will awaken dormant faith, ignite cold hearts, and expose what has been hidden too long. You are a living flame of testimony, proof that God still answers with fire. So when life heats up again, don't panic. Smile. Remember that the last fire didn't destroy you, it defined you. This one will only elevate you further. You are no longer afraid of the flame. You are the flame. You carry the same light that guided Moses, the same power that fell on Elijah, the same spirit that burned at Pentecost. You are God's firebrand, chosen to illuminate dark places. And if this truth burns in your chest, let it be known. Comment, I rise, not as a routine, but as revelation. When you type it, you declare, the fire that tested me now fuels me. It is your statement of victory, simple, strong, and unstoppable. When you write, I rise, you're not just typing words, you're testifying that the fire no longer frightens you. You have learned to stand in its glow without fear. The same heat that once threatened you now becomes your holy fuel. And heaven recognizes the courage in your declaration. Each letter you type echoes in the spirit realm. It tells the enemy, you failed to bury me because I am not ash, I am flame. It announces that you are done hiding from what makes you powerful. Your rising is not rebellion, it's resurrection. So let I rise. Be more than a comment, let it be your covenant, a whispered agreement between your heart and heaven, promising that no matter the fire, you will always emerge shining. Something has shifted in the unseen. The air feels lighter, the ground more stable beneath your feet. You are standing in a reality you once prayed for. And though everything around you seems the same, you can sense that you are not. What used to wound now only whispers. What once felt heavy now feels holy. You have entered the unveiling of your authority. There is no announcement, no trumpet blast, no sudden flash of light, just the quiet awareness that heaven has changed your name in the spirit. The wilderness has ended. You have crossed over into the territory of manifestation. You are no longer rehearsing strength, you are walking in it. And the world is about to feel the weight of your obedience. Every hidden yes you whispered in the dark has become currency in the spirit. Heaven has exchanged your pain for power. What was once private surrender now becomes public demonstration. The season of proving yourself is over. The evidence is about to speak for itself. You carry something now that cannot be faked, authentic authority, born from adversity. People will listen not because of your title, but because of your truth. Your presence will shift atmospheres, not through noise, but through knowing. You will enter rooms and bring peace where there was panic, hope where there was heaviness, clarity where there was confusion. This is not arrogance, it's alignment. The ancient words recorded in the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 19 declare, "Behold, I give you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you." That authority is your inheritance. You have been given power not to dominate, but to deliver. Your authority is not for boasting, it's for building, healing, restoring. You were not chosen to impress, you were chosen to impact. Every scar on your spirit has become a seal of legitimacy in heaven's eyes. You are trusted because you stayed true when no one was watching. And now, as heaven unveils you, remember this truth: divine authority does not roar, it resonates. It does not demand attention, it draws it. The strongest voices in the kingdom are often the calmest because they speak from assurance, not ambition. You have nothing to prove anymore. You are already proven. So walk gently. Let your confidence sound like peace. Let your leadership look like compassion. True authority is not about control, it's about carrying light into dark places. Every word you speak should heal, not harm. Every step you take should remind creation that heaven is near. And as this light expands, others will feel it. They will see something in you they cannot explain, a quiet strength, a graceful conviction, a presence that carries comfort. That is the fragrance of divine authority. It cannot be fabricated. It can only be formed in fire and obedience. When they ask what changed, tell them it wasn't an achievement, it was alignment. Tell them that you stopped fighting to be seen and started focusing on being sent. You don't chase influence anymore. Influence follows presence. You are becoming the living sermon your words could never preach. Now, somewhere inside this stillness, you'll feel a small stirring, an urge not to keep this light to yourself. And that stirring is sacred. It is heaven inviting you to extend what has been given freely to you, not as an order, but as an offering. So, if this message settles deep in your chest like a soft flame, follow that warmth. When you choose to let your heart express gratitude, perhaps by liking, sharing, or subscribing, imagine it as releasing a handful of light into the sky. Every spark joins another until the night itself begins to glow. You see, these simple gestures are not about algorithms or applause. They are echoes of connection, tiny flames that travel farther than you'll ever know. Each one says, "This message found me, and I choose to let it find someone else." It is a form of silent evangelism, a ripple of light sent into the unseen. Don't think of it as spreading content. Think of it as tending the fire. You are adding a log to the altar, keeping the warmth alive for the next weary traveler who stumbles through the cold. The light you keep alive here may be the spark that saves another. And when you feel that quiet pull, don't resist it. Let it happen naturally. Do it not because you're told to, but because your spirit agrees with the flow of heaven. Every act of light shared multiplies grace. Every gesture of connection strengthens the bridge between hearts. You've reached a new place, not of striving, but of shining. Authority isn't loud, it's luminous. It does not beg to be seen, it simply cannot be hidden. You are walking proof of that truth now. So go, chosen one, let your light speak louder than your words. Let your peace preach louder than your platform. And if the flame within you burns a little brighter tonight, pass it on. The world needs the warmth of your obedience. You have felt it, the gentle weight of something settling on you, like a crown being placed upon your head by unseen hands. It is not made of gold or adorned with jewels, yet it carries more value than anything this world could offer. This is the moment when heaven confirms what it has long whispered: your endurance has been noticed, and your faith has been found worthy. The trials that nearly crushed you were not curses, they were coronations in disguise. Every test you endured in silence was measured and recorded. Heaven does not forget the nights you cried, yet chose to trust anyway. The moments you stood in the ruins but still lifted your hands. The times you kept serving when your strength was gone, these were not wasted gestures. They became the jewels now being set into your crown. Each one represents a victory unseen by the world, but celebrated by heaven. This crown does not come because of perfection, it comes because of perseverance. The world rewards performance, but heaven honors endurance. Every time you chose humility over recognition, mercy over retaliation, faith over fear, you earned another unseen gem. The glory that rests upon you now is the result of obedience through obscurity. We are reminded in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." This promise is not poetic, it is prophetic. You are stepping into the very thing that verse describes. The crown of life is not only your eternal reward, it is also your earthly evidence that perseverance pays off. You are walking proof that pain can produce purpose. Every hardship became the hammer that shaped your authority. Every tear became oil for your anointing. Now you understand why certain seasons had to be so heavy. The pressure was never about punishment, it was about molding. Crowns are not lightweight, they require strong necks and steady hearts. God could not crown you prematurely, because immaturity cannot sustain glory. The weight was not wasted, it was strengthening. You have learned to carry peace where others carry pride. You have discovered that humility is not weakness, it is weight training for greatness. True authority flows quietly from those who have wrestled with both darkness and light and found peace in surrender. You wear your scars as testimony, not shame. Every mark of struggle now glows like gold refined in fire. This is the paradox of divine elevation. Before you rise, you must first bow. Before you are crowned, you must first be crushed. But now that crushing is complete, and what emerges from the ashes is not bitterness, but brilliance. You do not just carry light, you are light, because you were forged in it. The crown that rests upon you now is invisible to the eye, but undeniable to the spirit. People will sense it before they see it. They will feel peace in your presence, strength in your stillness, wisdom in your words. They may not understand it, but they will recognize it. The authority you carry is not loud, it is luminous. Do not fear the weight of the crown. It will not crush you, it will steady you. It is designed to fit only you, shaped by your journey, molded by your endurance, refined by your surrender. This is why comparison no longer has power over you. No one else could wear what was forged for your head. You are entering the era of recognition, not worldly applause, but heavenly acknowledgement. The very people who overlooked you will soon realize they witnessed a coronation, not a collapse. Those who dismissed you will watch the same glory they doubted rest upon your life, not for vengeance, but for validation, proof that God finishes what he starts. So walk with quiet confidence. You do not need to announce what heaven has already declared. Let your peace speak. Let your consistency preach. Let your presence remind others that endurance still matters. You no longer chase crowns of men, you carry the crown of life. And when the days grow heavy again, and they will touch your heart and remember what rests unseen upon your head, you are crowned, not because you conquered perfectly, but because you refused to stop believing. This is the reward of the faithful, to wear the invisible evidence of grace and to shine, not with ego, but with endurance redeemed. Your crown is not decoration, it is declaration. It announces that grace triumphed over grief, that what once tried to break you only built you into divine endurance. When the world sees calm in your eyes, they are witnessing royalty shaped by redemption. You wear the unseen evidence that faith truly finishes what it begins. And when you lift your eyes toward heaven, you'll understand it was never about the weight of the crown, but the strength it revealed in you while carrying it. All around you, alignment is taking shape. What once felt scattered is beginning to make sense. Every piece that seemed out of place is now revealing its purpose. The threads of your journey, once tangled in confusion, are being woven into divine order. This is the beauty of prophetic alignment, when timing, obedience, and grace converge to create something only heaven could design. You are beginning to understand why it all had to unfold the way it did. If one door had opened too soon, it would have crushed you. If one person had stayed too long, they would have slowed you. If one delay had not occurred, you might have missed your appointed window. Now you can see how perfectly heaven orchestrated every step, even the ones that felt like missteps. There is no chaos in divine design. What looked like detours were actually directions written in invisible ink. Heaven was always a few steps ahead, aligning moments, hearts, and opportunities in a way that now seems miraculous. Everything is meeting at once: the right place, the right people, the right time. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 26, "With man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." That is the essence of alignment. It takes what looks impossible and arranges it into divine flow. You are walking into that flow now. Things that used to resist you will begin to recognize you. Situations that once drained you will now serve you. This is what happens when your will and heaven's will finally meet in agreement. You may notice the subtle shifts first: a peace that replaces panic, clarity that silences confusion, favor that follows faith. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Heaven is saying, you're in position. The right people are being drawn to you, not by chance, but by assignment. Some you'll meet unexpectedly, yet you'll feel an instant knowing, a spiritual familiarity that says, this connection is divine. Prophetic alignment doesn't just bring people, it brings purpose. You will find yourself speaking words that were not planned, taking steps that seem guided by instinct, making choices that seem almost pre-written. That is because heaven is ordering your steps. Every movement you make is becoming music in the symphony of God's design. But remember, this alignment is not effortless, it is intentional. It requires listening more than talking, moving slower than you used to, and trusting timing even when you can't trace it. You must resist the urge to control what God is carefully coordinating. When you rest in His rhythm, doors open without you pushing. When you strive, they remain sealed. You are entering a time where small obedience will create massive outcomes. The slightest yes in the Spirit will open pathways you never imagined. What used to require striving will now flow through surrender. That is the mark of divine synchronization. Heaven moves through ease, not exhaustion. Don't be surprised when signs begin to follow. Numbers, dreams, words from strangers, all confirming that you are exactly where you're meant to be. These are heaven's gentle affirmations. Keep walking, keep trusting. You are in step with destiny. And in this moment, heaven invites you to respond not with striving, but with symbolism. Comment the number 222 below as a prophetic declaration that your life is coming into divine agreement. This number represents unity between God's promise and your purpose, between heaven's plan and your path. When you type it, do it with intention. You're not just entering digits, you are speaking into existence the alignment you now feel stirring in your spirit. You are saying, I agree with heaven. I align with divine timing. I choose flow over force. Because from this point on, your journey will no longer be about effort, it will be about ease. What you once chased will now recognize your preparation and meet you halfway. Heaven and earth have met in your story. And from this alignment comes acceleration. The shift has already begun, and it will not stop. You are walking in perfect timing, divine rhythm, and unshakable agreement with the will of God. When you write 222, you are not repeating numbers, you are releasing agreement. It's a sacred gesture that whispers, I'm ready to walk in harmony with heaven's design. It marks the moment when your will bends beautifully into divine timing. Each number becomes a bridge, connecting what God promised to what you are now prepared to live. Heaven reads your response not as digits but as devotion, as your spirit signing the covenant of alignment. So let 222 be your silent prayer and prophetic symbol. Let it declare that you are done forcing and finally flowing. That from this day forward, every step, every word, every heartbeat will move in rhythm with heaven's perfect plan for your life. And as alignment settles around you, peace will follow like a faithful shadow. You'll realize nothing was delayed, everything was divinely timed to reveal your readiness. Flow begins now. There is a quiet turning taking place in the unseen, the moment when what was once against you begins to work for you. The tables are turning, and though you may not yet see the movement, your spirit feels it. Heaven has begun to reverse the order of things. What was closed will open. What was lost will return. And what was stolen will be restored sevenfold. The balance of divine justice is being set in your favor. For so long, you have walked through seasons that made no sense, faithful to promises that seemed forgotten, obedient to instructions that led to isolation, consistent in prayer when results refused to appear. You endured the whisper of doubt and the silence of heaven, yet you never quit. You sowed seeds that seemed buried beneath disappointment. But heaven never forgets a faithful planter. Every tear was a drop of water, nurturing unseen roots. Now, the harvest is ready. You will soon see how God wastes nothing. Even the betrayal was fertilizer. Every rejection became redirection. The pain you thought would destroy you was actually shaping the platform that will carry your purpose. The scales that once seemed unfair are now tipping toward restoration. The story that was once marked by loss is about to be rewritten in favor. The word of God declares in the book of Psalms, Chapter 23, verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. That table is not revenge, it's revelation. It is proof that your faith was not in vain. God will not embarrass your enemies. He will educate them. He will show them that what they tried to destroy became the very thing that defined you. The same people who questioned your resilience will witness the overflow that follows surrender. The tables turning does not mean gloating over those who opposed you. It means rising without resentment. It means walking through doors once closed and inviting peace to sit where pain once lived. The power of reversal is not in proving others wrong, it's in proving God right. Every delay, every detour, every denial was divine setup for demonstration. You have reached the point where what once wounded you now works as your witness. The words spoken against you will not hinder you, they will highlight you. For when God restores, He does not do it quietly. He makes your vindication visible, not for pride, but for purpose. The miracle is not that you survived the valley, but that you emerged without bitterness. This is what divine reversal looks like. The same places that once rejected you will now request you. The same doors that once denied you will open wide and ask you to enter. The same ground that once held your tears will now yield a harvest of joy. You will no longer chase opportunity. Opportunity will chase the fragrance of your faithfulness. The enemy thought your endurance was weakness, but it was worship. The patience that felt like pain was actually power collecting in silence. Now, heaven releases what was withheld, not because you earned it, but because you endured it. Do not rush this turning. Divine justice moves in rhythm, not reaction. God is not merely repaying, He is rebuilding. The tables do not just shift positions, they transform purpose. The story you are living becomes the testimony someone else will cling to when they cannot see their way out. Your reversal becomes revelation for another's redemption. You will begin to notice favor appearing in unexpected forms, a conversation that changes everything, an opportunity you didn't apply for, a door you stopped knocking on suddenly opening again. These are signs that heaven has remembered your name. It is no longer about striving, it is about standing. The reversal requires rest, not resistance. The humility you held in hardship will now become the crown you wear in harvest. You will bless those who mocked you, not because they deserve it, but because freedom feels better than revenge. Forgiveness will become your finest armor. It will keep your heart untainted as the glory increases. When the tables turn, stay gentle. Do not speak the language of vindication. Speak the language of victory, quiet, graceful, unshakable, because the same grace that elevated you will one day reach the ones who hurt you. That is how heaven restores balance. And when the moment comes that you stand in the place once filled with pain and realize peace now reigns there, lift your head, not in pride, but in gratitude. For every turn of the table carries a lesson that God always remembers, that grace always wins, and that restoration is always worth the wait. The table is ready. Your place has been reserved. And when you sit down, you will finally understand it was never about revenge. It was always about revelation. It begins quietly, like the soft sound of water finding its way through stone. Then, suddenly, it becomes a river, a current that refuses to be contained. This is the flood of favor, and it is coming your way. You have endured droughts of disappointment, seasons where nothing seemed to move, moments where every effort ended in stillness. But heaven has opened the gates, and what was once withheld is now being released in abundance. You can feel it even now, the shift in the air, the sense that something greater is flowing toward you. This is not mere opportunity, it is overflow. It is the accumulation of every prayer, every act of obedience, every silent sacrifice gathering together into a wave of divine reward. You waited through the dry years, and now heaven repays you in rivers. When God decides it is time, no barrier can block what He has ordained. You have stepped into that moment where favor does not trickle, it pours. Doors you never knocked on are opening, and people you've never met are being moved to help you. It's not coincidence, it's orchestration. Every closed door from your past was simply redirecting you toward the floodgates that are now breaking open. According to the promise written in the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 13, "The days are coming, declares the Lord, when the reaper will be overtaken by the plowman and the planter by the one treading grapes. New wine will drip from the mountains and flow from all the hills." That time is now. The waiting season is giving birth to acceleration. The places where you sowed in tears will overflow with laughter. The very land that once resisted growth will yield harvest without struggle. Favor does not arrive politely, it floods suddenly. And here's the mystery: the flood of favor never comes because of effort alone. It comes because of alignment. You are no longer striving for approval, you are walking in assignment. Heaven flows easily through hearts that have learned surrender. This flood does not drown you, it carries you. You are not fighting to stay afloat, you are learning to glide on grace. Do not be surprised when blessings appear in unusual forms. A conversation becomes a key. A stranger becomes a bridge. A mistake becomes a miracle in disguise. This is how divine favor moves. It disguises itself in ordinary moments so that only the discerning recognize it. And you, after all your refining, have become discerning enough to see it. The favor coming to you is not small. It will not fit neatly into your expectations. It will exceed them, overflow them, transform them. You prayed for provision. God is releasing overflow. You hoped for a single opportunity. Heaven is preparing a network of them. You asked for survival. Grace is sending abundance. This is what happens when delay gives birth to destiny. But favor also tests character. When it comes, stay humble. When it flows, stay faithful. The flood was never meant to sweep you away. It was meant to showcase the strength of the foundation beneath your feet. Do not forget the lessons the wilderness taught you: gratitude, contentment, dependence. These are the anchors that will keep your spirit steady amid increase. Favor is not meant for hoarding, it is meant for healing. You are being blessed to become a blessing, supplied to become a source. Every overflow carries an assignment to restore, to rebuild, to revive. What flows to you must also flow through you. That is how the river stays pure. You will soon find yourself stepping into rooms you once only dreamed of, not to prove your worth, but to fulfill your purpose. You will carry peace into places that have never known it, wisdom into circles that desperately need it. People will wonder how you got there, and your only answer will be grace. The flood of favor is not loud, it's graceful. It moves with divine precision, touching exactly what needs transformation. It mends relationships, revives dreams, restores opportunities long thought dead. It does not come to impress, it comes to increase. So when the current begins to rise around you, don't fight it. Flow with it. Let it lift you higher than effort ever could. This is what heaven had planned all along, to take your years of endurance and turn them into evidence of abundance. You will stand in the overflow soon, surrounded by blessings too numerous to count. And you will realize the drought was never denial. It was preparation for rain. The rain you feel now is not just water, it's remembrance. Every drop carries your name, your prayers, your persistence. Heaven never forgot. It was simply waiting for the perfect season, and now it pours without restraint, washing away years of lack. You stand drenched in grace, realizing abundance was never distant, it was simply waiting for your readiness. Something within you has begun to expand, something that cannot be contained by borders, language, or limitation. It is the call to the nations. You may not have realized it, but everything you have endured until now has been preparation for impact far beyond your immediate reach. What God has placed in you is not local, it is global. The same fire that refined you privately now burns brightly enough to be seen from afar. You were never meant to exist in quiet corners forever. The same voice that once trembled in prayer will soon echo across boundaries. The same faith that once struggled to rise will now lift others. Heaven's message has always been alive in you, and now it seeks to travel through you, to reach hearts you may never meet in person, yet are divinely connected to in spirit. It begins softly, as all divine things do, a gentle nudge in your heart, a sense that your purpose carries weight beyond your current surroundings. And then, as you begin to move, doors open not for recognition, but for representation. You are being sent, not to impress the world, but to express heaven. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 20, "We are therefore Christ's ambassadors, as though God were making his appeal through us." That is what you are, now an ambassador of light. You carry within you the fragrance of grace, the wisdom of the wilderness, the strength of survival. Everywhere you go, your presence will preach long before your words do. You will speak in the language of love, move in the rhythm of peace, and live as living evidence that faith still transforms. But the call to the nations is not about fame or platform, it's about faithfulness. It's not about numbers, it's about names. Every person who crosses your path will become a mission field of the heart. The way you look at them, the compassion in your tone, the patience in your response, all of it will carry heaven's imprint. You will discover that evangelism is not about shouting, it's about shining. You will find yourself connecting with people across cultures and generations, not because of effort, but because truth recognizes truth. The light in you will call out to the light in others. You will become a bridge between hearts that would never have met otherwise. The message will move through your life effortlessly, as if it were always meant to. And here, in this moment, a sacred invitation unfolds, not as command, but as communion. If these words stir something deep inside you, if you sense the flame of calling flicker awake, then let that response rise naturally. When you choose to gently like, share, comment, or subscribe, imagine it as releasing a ripple across the waters, a signal of light traveling beyond your horizon. Each gesture becomes more than interaction, it becomes intercession. It says, "Let this message reach who it was meant to reach," like waves spreading outward from a single drop. What begins with you may touch someone standing at the edge of their breaking point. You may never know their name, but heaven will. And when you leave a comment, let it be a seed, just a word, a phrase, a prayer. Think of it as whispering into the wind, trusting that somewhere it will land on a heart that needs it most. Words written in sincerity have wings. They travel farther than voices ever could. Think of it as standing at the shore and tossing a stone of faith into eternity. The ripples travel farther than sight allows. Every act of connection carries the fragrance of heaven's movement. Every time you pass light forward, it multiplies. This is how the nations are reached, not only through pulpits and stages, but through hearts awakened to obedience. The digital age becomes divine altar space when faith fills the screen with sincerity. You are part of that mission now, whether you ever travel across oceans or not. If this word feels like a mirror reflecting something ancient inside you, let your spirit respond. You don't have to force it, just flow. Let your willingness become worship. Let your openness become offering. Every quiet yes you whisper becomes thunder in heaven. When you engage with light, you expand its reach. When you connect from the heart, you become part of something eternal. The algorithms of earth can never measure what obedience in the spirit can do. So, as this message closes and your own mission begins, carry this truth gently. You are not here by accident. The same God who aligned the stars has aligned this moment so that light could move through you. And every time you pass that light forward, whether through a word, a smile, or even a shared spark, you participate in heaven's grand design. You are not merely a listener, you are a lighthouse. Shine without striving, share without fear, and let your obedience speak louder than your name. There is always one final fire before the fullness of glory arrives. It is not the consuming kind, but the cleansing kind, the refining flame that removes the last traces of fear, pride, and doubt from the vessel heaven has prepared. You may have thought the battles were finished, that the tears had dried, that the testing was over. But the final refining is not punishment, it is perfection. It is heaven's way of ensuring that the glory about to rest upon you does not crush you. This final stretch feels different. It is not chaos, but it is not calm either. It is a strange stillness where everything external grows quiet so that the internal can be made pure. God begins to touch places within you that even you forgot existed, the hidden motives, the quiet resentments, the small compromises that cling like dust. It is the gentle fire of sanctification, not judgment. Refining is the highest form of love. God corrects those he calls close, not because they have failed, but because he intends to trust them with more. He loves you too deeply to let the residue of old battles contaminate the blessing ahead. The gold has already been shaped, now it must shine. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Malachi. Chapter 3, verse 3. He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. He will purify the Levites and refine them like gold and silver. Then the Lord will have men who will bring offerings in righteousness. That image, God sitting as a refiner, is one of both patience and precision. He does not leave the fire unattended. He sits and watches, waiting for the moment when his reflection appears in the silver. That's when the refining is finished. And so it is with you. Heaven will not remove you from the fire until you reflect his heart fully. This is not cruelty, it is craftsmanship. You have walked through too much to settle for half-formed glory. There can be no residue of bitterness in a vessel destined to pour healing. No trace of fear in a voice meant to speak freedom. No pride in a heart meant to carry power. The refining burns away what cannot stay, so that what remains can stand without trembling. It is during this process that many give up, mistaking purification for punishment. But you, chosen one, are learning to recognize the pattern of heaven. The same God who allowed the flame also controls its temperature. The same hand that held you through darkness now holds you steady in light. You are being prepared for permanence, not performance. This refining fire doesn't just cleanse, it clarifies. It teaches you to see yourself as heaven sees you, not through the lens of past mistakes, but through the truth of your calling. You are not defined by what you have endured, but by what you are becoming. Every flicker of discomfort, every delayed answer, every unexpected silence, it is all part of divine polishing. And though it burns, there is beauty in the blaze. The fire is revealing brilliance that pain tried to hide. It is burning away not only your weakness, but your weariness. The same flames that once frightened you now forge your faith. You are learning that surrender is strength, that yielding is not giving up, but growing up in this sacred season. God is not testing your worth, He is proving it. You have already been chosen. Now you are being refined into readiness. Heaven will not pour costly oil into an untested vessel. That is why you feel pressure again, not because you failed, but because you are too close to glory to be careless. What emerges from this refining will carry lasting radiance. When you speak, your words will pierce through confusion because they will come from purity. When you move, your steps will leave peace behind you. When you lead, others will feel the weight of authenticity, the mark of one who has been through fire and did not lose form. So, let this flame finish its work. Do not resist the process or rush the purification. Let the embers fall away naturally. The fire knows its purpose, and it will not consume what is meant to continue. When it is done, you will not just shine, you will illuminate. Your presence will carry the calm authority of one who has met both fire and Father and found them faithful. You will walk forward, not with smoke on your clothes, but with light in your eyes. The refining fire will not define you, it will reveal you. And in that revelation, heaven will whisper the words your heart has longed to hear. It is finished. Rise, radiant one, the glory is ready to rest. When the fire fades, you'll see what remains pure gold, steady and shining. You'll understand that every flame was love, shaping you for lasting glory. The air is still now. The battle has quieted. The refining has completed, and heaven stands in silence, watching the moment that was written before time began. The journey that started in uncertainty ends here in coronation. You have passed through every season of stripping, shaping, testing, and transforming. And now the King himself calls you forward. This is the moment creation has been waiting for, the unveiling of a soul refined by fire, tested by storms, and found faithful. Heaven gathers as witness. The angels who guarded your nights now surround you with song. They carry the fragrance of every prayer you ever whispered and lift it as incense before the throne. You are not who you were when this began. You are who you were always meant to be. The waiting has given birth to wisdom. The pain has become power, and the silence has turned into strength. You do not need to search for your crown. It is already upon you. It rests unseen but undeniable, a symbol of endurance rewarded and purpose revealed. The glory of this moment does not come from gold or jewels, but from grace itself. It is the invisible radiance of one who stayed faithful in the unseen. We find in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 11, "I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have, so that no one will take your crown." That verse carries a gentle warning and a glorious promise. It reminds you that coronation is not the end of calling, it is the beginning of responsibility. The crown is not a decoration, it is a declaration of dominion through surrender. You wear it not to rule over others, but to serve with humility, to reign with love, and to stand as a living testament of grace's endurance. This moment of coronation is quiet. There are no trumpets, only truth. The Father's voice speaks softly into your spirit, saying, "Well done." And in that whisper, every wound finds meaning. Every unanswered question dissolves into peace. You realize that the pain was never punishment, it was preparation for the weight of glory now resting upon you. The crown does not make you greater, it makes you gentler. It bends your heart toward compassion, your eyes toward mercy, your hands toward service. The mark of those who have been truly crowned is not power, but peace. You have become a carrier of calm in a world addicted to chaos, a bearer of light in a generation that has forgotten the dawn. You walk differently now. There is no rush, no fear, no striving. You move with measured steps, aware that every breath is borrowed grace. Where others see endings, you see beginnings. You have learned that glory is not a spotlight, it is a stewardship. You are not meant to display it, but to distribute it, to let your life become the reflection of the one who crowned you. The people who once questioned your endurance will soon recognize the radiance upon you, not because you boast, but because your peace speaks. The ones who doubted your destiny will see that you were never finished, you were being formed. The same fire that could have destroyed you has become the light guiding your path. You no longer fear loss, because you have learned that nothing surrendered to God is ever wasted. You no longer chase validation, because heaven's acknowledgement is enough. You no longer seek to prove your worth, because your worth has been sealed by divine approval. This is the mystery of coronation. It looks like stillness, but it carries sound. Every breath you take from this moment echoes through eternity. Every step you take sends ripples through realms unseen. The world may call it peace, but heaven calls it authority. Now the King looks upon you not as a servant struggling to survive, but as a son or daughter ready to reign. You were not chosen for comfort, you were chosen for communion. And in that communion, you find your crown not above your head, but within your heart. The crown of glory is not meant to make you shine alone, it's meant to make others see light through you. Every act of kindness becomes a jewel. Every word of truth becomes gold refined. Every moment of humility adds another glimmer to the glory you carry. You are living proof that endurance outlasts adversity and that grace never fails its chosen ones. So now, step forward. The heavens stand in awe. The earth grows silent, and time itself pauses as the divine declaration resounds, "It is complete." You are crowned not because you conquered the world, but because you conquered yourself. You have run the race, kept the faith, and now stand radiant in divine fulfillment. This is the coronation of the faithful, the unveiling of destiny, the celebration of endurance. and the peace that passes all understanding. Heaven's applause is not loud, it is eternal. The story closes, but the calling continues. You have walked through fire, flood, silence, and revelation, and now you stand at the threshold of everything promised. This is not an ending, it is an awakening. The light that has been forming within you is ready to move beyond you. Heaven has written its truth upon your heart, and now the world waits to read it through your life. If these words have found you in a season of stillness or strength, know this: nothing in you was wasted. Every struggle, every surrender, every whispered yes has carved space for glory to rest. You are no longer waiting for breakthrough, you are the breakthrough. The evidence of transformation is already visible in your peace, your presence, your perseverance. And now, as the final echoes of this message linger, you are invited, not commanded, to respond in the same spirit of grace that has carried you here. When you choose to gently like, share, comment, or subscribe, see it not as a routine, but as a radiant act of agreement. It's a silent way of saying, I hear, I receive, I carry this forward. Think of it as releasing seeds of light into the digital soil of the world. Each gesture becomes a spark, each comment a candle, each share a small sunrise in someone else's night. When you leave a comment, let it come from the heart, a word, a prayer, a simple echo of hope. Somewhere, unseen eyes will read it and remember that faith still lives here. Let your engagement be worship, not work. Let it flow naturally, beautifully, like a wave returning to the sea. Because what began as a message has now become a movement, one heart awakening another, one flame igniting countless more. You are not the end of this story, you are the continuation of its light.